guys, welcome to Jazz Tutorials. Today I'm going to be showing you something pretty awesome that I'm sure you're going to enjoy. I probably should have done this tutorial last week, but I just discovered it this week, so that's why it's here. Okay, so I've opened a photo of this dancer, which I found on deviantart.com, which, by the way, if you haven't signed up for it, go ahead and do it. It's an awesome site. I'm on there. Other cool artists are on there, and it's a great site to share all of your awesome artwork and whatnot. Anyways, moving on. So, you're going to open your photo that you're using. Now, my photo was already a large image, so I went and resized it by image resize under image adjustments. And I'm using 900 by 1066 pixels, but by all means, you can use any photo you like. Alright, so we're going to start things off by duplicating our background layer. And you're going to get layer 1. Now, you're welcome to name your layers, but for me, I'm not going to because I know what layers go with what. But if you have a thing where you need to name your layers, to really go right ahead and do that. And you'll be able, and you can name yours, this one just dancer or black and white, whatever. Alright, so now we're going to go to image and adjustments, and you're going to turn it black and white. Now, you could do a Control-Shift-U and decerate it, but decerate and black and white are kind of two different things. Even though you get the same outcome, they have two different effects on your final image. So that's why you want to go black and white and not decerate. Alright, so how you black and white, you want to duplicate the black and white layer. Control-J again, you'll get a layer 1 copy, which you can then name if you need to. I'm not going to. And you're going to change that to hard light. And you should see an effect similar to that. Now, it's going to be a darkened black and white effect that you're going for at this point. Some photos may not give you that effect. I'm not sure. I know this photo does, but I'm sure using other photos you might get a similar but not exact effect, but that's alright. Whatever is close. Okay, so you have this now. So we're now going to load our stock texture. We're going to be using this texture here. I'll provide this for you in the description below because it's very hard to find. So, yeah, you're going to need this. So, we're going to Command AX and cut that out of there. You can delete that one because you don't need that. And go back to your dancer layer. You're going to paste it on there. And now is where you can free-for-all set it where you want to. So I'm just going to resize it a bit so that it suits the image properly. But this is where you come into play and mess around and see what looks good for you. Okay. Now, once you have this, you're going to then change the layer to screen. Alright, now you'll see that right there. It's not dark enough for the effect, so what I'm going to do on my photo is I'm going to, again, duplicate that layer and keep it at screen, and you'll see it's brightened a bit more. And that's what you want to see. Now, some people may need to do a third one. I don't know. For me, doing a third one makes it way too bright, so I only have to duplicate mine twice. But, again, some photos may, need 3. I don't know. It's your call. Whatever looks good to you. Then, you're going to want to merge those two together. Now, this is where it's going to be a little difficult. Some of you might say, oh, just do Command and click and do it that way. Well, this is what happens when you do that. You get that. So, you can't do that. So, what you have to do is just do a Command E, which just merges the two together. And you get that. So, that should come up with the two, and they should be screened still. Alright, now, as you can clearly see on the top here, we have a little bit here that's not really blended in well. Now, to fix that, you're going to go over here, and you're going to erase some of that. So I'm just going to zoom out a bit because I need to do this. So go like this, and just blend it in with the soft round brush of size. Just using 200px, but use whatever size you want. Okay. And then, once you've completed that, right-click layer 2, which you just merged together, and create a clipping mask. And you should get that. Alright, you should be seeing that right there. It's very, blended in. Alright, that's what you should be seeing. Alright, you with me so far? Alright, moving on. We're now going to go over here to our adjustments layer button, which is this little circular half moon kind of one in between the layer mask button. And we're going to add a color balance effect. Now, when you open this, what you want to also make sure you do is create a clipping mask on this layer. You want to mask everything down so that it blends in with the original photo. That's the little paint box right there. Or if you forget that's what that is, you can also hold the Alt key. Holding the Alt and clicking on the layer will also give you the clipping mask effect as well. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. So on here, you want to make this one all the way at the bottom. Alright, and then you're going to have your green and magentas at -5. And your blues and yellows at 97. You're going to get a purplish color like that. Or at least I have. I don't know if other photos will give you that or not. I don't know. But that's what you should see. Alrighty. Okay, and now we're going to add another adjustment layer above that one. Alright, moving forward. Okay, so we're going to go over here to levels. Now this, I'm going to have, you probably want to play around with your effect. I'm going to use over here on the left. The only one you're changing is this one on the left here. I like 50 because, you know, 50 is a nice number. And again, you want to have a clipping mask on this layer, so click your little paint box thing there, and you should see that. Because if you don't have the paint box, it's way too dark. Yeah. So I like 50, but if you want to go a little further and make it a bigger number or a smaller number, go ahead, play around, see what looks good to you. Alright, then on the clipping mask button over here, the little white square box, we're going to just erase a little bit of this so that it blends in more and gives it more of a cool, awesome effect that we're looking for. So just make a couple of dots here. Yeah. And then, like so. Okay. And you can kind of see where it kind of looks cool, but I don't know. Okay. So that's clipping mask. Alright, now another adjustment layer. We're going to add brightness and contrast. Yeah. Alright, and your brightness is going to be -74. And this one's going to be 49. Alright, there you go. It's a bit darker, but awesome. Again, click on your paint box. Okay, so you have all these on your layers here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to load another texture, our last texture, which is this one here. I will again provide this in the description below because this is also hard to find and is needed. Alright, Control A, X. Oops, no. Alright, we're just going to get rid of this one. Right, and you're going to paste that on top. Now, to make this easier to handle and work with, we're going to hide all the other layers we just did. Oops. Sorry about that. So hide everything except for the girl layer. And we're going to work with just this top layer first. So do a Control T and resize this layer. Alright, you got that. And change that layer to soft light. And you will see an effect of such. Okay, and now, oh, are we done? No, but we're almost done. We're going to add one more layer, one more adjustment layer, and that's going to be Hue and Saturation. Your hue is going to be whatever you think looks good. I don't want to go too far. I mean, like, you could really go like 65 or something, like 65. Oops. No. Yeah, no. So don't go too extreme. Just play around with it and see what looks good to you. Excuse me. We're going to add a curves adjustment layer to that layer. So open that up there. 133. Oops. Hello? The hell? Alright, and the input is 62, and the output's 133. Alright, you should see that. Looks good. Clipping mask, clipping mask. Don't forget to click it. Yeah. Alright, now that you have that, you can now make these all visible again. Whoa. Yeah, look at that. And then the hue and saturation is going to be 15. I like 15 because it's a good number. It's not too bright, and it's also not too little. So stick with 15 for your saturation, but play around with the hue to your liking. I like plus 12. Alright, and there you go. That's the basics of this tutorial. Again, you can go onto google.com and find other Nubella textures and paste them on there. Do an overlay screen or something, and just really brighten it and bring it back out to life. But for now, this is what I did. So again, as always, you can always take my tutorials a step further and create something even more awesome, and that's cool. Go ahead and do that. I don't care. Whatever brings you to awesomeness. But this is the basic tutorial. I thought it was pretty awesome, and I'm sure you did too. Hopefully it was great. I'm not sure if it was, but hey, I liked it, and I thought you guys would too, so yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, please comment, like, and subscribe. I love subscribers, likers, and commenters, and new people. So come join the awesomeness, where art meets the awesome. Alright, guys, bye!